The views and opinions expressed on Unlock Your Wealth Radio are those of the host, guests, and callers only and are not necessarily the views of Unlock Your Wealth Radio, Heather Wagenhals, or Success Publishing International.
More willpower than a barefoot woman at a shoe sale. Able to stretch a single paycheck for an entire month. Makes money concepts easier than third-grade math. Introducing your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals.
Work all day, stress all night. Take your mind off your money, focus on your life. Money don't matter or the stuff it bought. It's the way you think, not what you've got, yeah.
Unlock Your Wealth Radio starts now.
Get your money mind right.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thanks so much for stopping by. We are so glad to have you. I'm Heather Wagenhals, and we will help you get your money mind right on today's show with these awesome features. I'm so excited. We are in our fourth key in our Keys to Riches. Knowledge is power. Not knowing is powerful. We have our money word of the day, and it's another economy type word. And minutes on your money, how about some car shopping savvy? Would you like some skills to go in and negotiate with those big dogs to get the right deal for your car? Well, I am going to bring you those tips today. Additionally, we have our trivia question about last week's show, Dreams with Deadlines. Today's guest is Jane Blaufus, and our Unlock Your Wealth protege, Lauren Rumpler, will be off this week as she is working on her music. As always, we will talk about your money, your credit, and how to get ahead in any economy. We will also show you how to manage your money easier, saving time and reducing stress, using these proven techniques for you to create unlimited wealth and happiness. Now, this week's trivia question is going to be pretty awesome, I must say. Insiders Club members, by the way, are automatically entered in weekly giveaways. But if you are not an Insider member and would like to compete for great money management tools for free, all you have to do is answer today's trivia question. This week's trivia question is, in last week's show, in Dreams with Deadlines, we talked about goal achievement. And our goal achievement strategy required us to reduce it to the what? What do we reduce our Dreams with Deadlines to? If you would like to try to win, you can do it one of three ways. Call in, chat in, or email in to win. If you would like to call in, that number is 1-866-966-9420. That's 866-966-9420. Or you can hop in the chat room and try your luck if you are listening live to the show. I'm in here. Hi, I'm here. Come visit. See if you have the correct answer. And one last way to win, if you are listening from a podcast, never fear, you too can still play here, because if the show doesn't have a right answer during the show, you can still win by sending us an email and have an opportunity to win. That is trivia@uywradio.com. That's trivia@uywradio.com. So if you think you have the right answer to reduce it to the what, send in your answer now. So for minutes on your money, let's talk about some car shopping savvy, shall we? Can you say that 5 times fast? Savvy, shall we? Okay. So you got to get another car, and whether it's a new car or it's a used car, you still got to do something with it. So here are some great techniques to help you get the right deal when it comes time to shop for a car. So first, it all starts with your A game and your body language. So don't be too timid to walk into the dealer's showroom with some attitude. Furthermore, make it a point to show no enthusiasm for any particular vehicle, especially the one that you really want. Instead, challenge the salesperson to prove to you why you should buy anything at all from this place. Also, To keep the edge in your own pocket, never give a dealer your social security number or fill out any kind of application or paperwork until you're absolutely ready to commit to a purchase. You play your hand if you do this, especially if you have a ding or two on your credit. They can leverage that against you in the negotiations. You want to get your negotiations done completely and then bring in financing as a potential option for you after the fact. Now, shop at the right time. When the best time for you to be buying a car or leasing one is at the end of the month, because salespeople have quotas. And it's more important for them to get a quota than it is to sell the car at the highest price possible, because they're pressed to the wall and they want to move product. So their bonuses hinge on this. So that's your way of taking advantage of them. Also, in the middle of the week when it's kind of dead, or on any rainy day or crappy weather day, they're open, but they ain't doing nothing. So you can get down there and you can negotiate a deal because they're bored. They want to do something. They'll sell you a car and you will have an edge. Also, when you do find a car, find out how long it's been sitting on the lot. If the number of days supply of a particular model exceeds 60 days, the dealer will be more anxious to sell it. Now, keep in mind that a model is usually a slow mover because it's not well rated by consumer rating services. But if it's one that you are interested in, that's always a good way to get an extra bump on your favor with the discounts. And also, don't go in there alone. Always shop with a friend. It's more difficult for a salesperson to corner and outnumber you if you have backup. Plus, that's always somebody you can play off of when you start to negotiate. But make sure that this friend that you select is not an impulse shopper, so they won't be going, "Oh, just do it, dude. You totally need this car. You know how many chicks you'll get?" Like, you totally don't want that kind of a friend. So you want a friend that's going to be conservative and is going to help benefit you and be skeptical. "Dude, come on, let's go. No, I don't like this guy. Let's go. This is a crappy deal." You want that guy. You want that guy to come with you. Now, you may get a better deal if you order your car rather than one that's already in inventory, because it hasn't been sitting there. So the longer it sits there, you've got maintenance to consider and upkeep on that vehicle. Rather, where you order it, it just comes straight in and they move that without having to take up precious retail space. Also, don't buy high profit items from the dealer. And this is all the extras that they're bending over backwards to sell you. So things that you want to steer clear of: rust proofing, undercoating, glazing, extended warranties, service warranties, alarms or security alarms where you can get a much better deal, and other types of trapping. Rims. Does it come with rims? Rims and tires you can also get much cheaper elsewhere. Be aware of low interest rate financing. If you have not chosen financing from your own bank, be aware of low interest rate financing, because the terms might be for only 1 or 2 years only, and you might get spanked on the back end. And above all else, keep this in mind: the most powerful negotiating tool you have is to walk out that door. You need that car less than they need you to need that car. And that's your ace in the hole. So we have all of the savvy tips so you can go in and negotiate like the pros. Coming up, we have Jane Blaufus, our guest. We have Knowledge is Power, Not Knowing is Power from our Keys to Riches and the Moolah Word of the Day. You are listening to Unlock Your Wealth Radio with Heather Wagenhals. Stay tuned for more right after this.
Commander Marty Logan here from the Top Gun Seminars. What I've learned over the years is that the most successful people in life have coaches to guide them along their chosen path. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Tony Stewart, Tom Hopkins, Kathy Colby all had coaches. Whether it was their father, someone else's father, or another person who helped them to shape their desires into an achievable path to success with a system of accountability where quitting was the only way to fail. Each of these people had someone who didn't see them as they first were, but as the person inside they knew they could easily become. Financial coaching can be the single addition you need to become financially independent. Call the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation now for your free consultation. 1-866-966-9420. That toll-free number again is 1-866-966-9420. Or visit us on the web at www.unlockyourwealth.com.
I'm Heather Wagenhals. Too much month left over at the end of the money? Tired of paying off debt again like a slave? Then tune in to my 1-minute update on Fort Myers Beach Radio for your morning cup of money motivation. And for more tips, visit crackingyourmoneycode.com.
Looking to take your game to the next level? Maybe you're restless and not sure what to do next in your life? If networking to elevate yourself, looking for inspiration, or being somewhere in between relaxing and making it happen, then the Women of Change Cruise, January 23rd to 28th, is for you. Join a team of elite women who will take your game to the next level or help you find your game while surrounding yourself with welcoming, accepting women who will affirm, motivate, and inspire you to live your best life starting now. Space is limited. Surf over now and be a part of women just like you who refuse to settle for less and are looking to get more out of this lifetime.
The Women of Change phenomenon. Leave your own mark on the world.
For more information about the Women of Change cruise and upcoming events, please visit our website at womenofchange.org.
Greenback is your neighborhood lender for auto title loans. We offer fast and easy cash title loans for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Keep your car with title loans from $100 to $50,000. There are no year or mileage limits at Greenback, and we offer the cheapest rates in Arizona, guaranteed. For more information, visit greenbacktitleloans.com or call 480-926-6666.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. You are listening to Unlock Your Wealth Radio, and I am your maven of moolah, Heather Wagenhals. And in addition to being your maven of moolah, I have your moolah word of the day right here at hand. And actually, it's a phrase because it's 2 words. Command economy. A command economy is an economy where supply and price are regulated by the government rather than market forces. Government planners decide which goods and services are produced and how they are distributed. The former Soviet Union is an example of a command economy. It is also referred to as a centrally planned economy, one we do not want here in this fabulous country. So that's it for your moolah word of the day. I hope I have enlightened you. And we have an amazing guest. I am so honored that she came on to share her story, Jane Blaufus. She is an author, a speaker, and a catalyst for courageous conversations. Here's why. A respected 25-year veteran of the insurance industry. She has always thought that if the unthinkable happened, she would be well prepared. I mean, she worked in the industry, for goodness sake. And maybe she would be better prepared for the unexpected considering her profession. That was all wrong. In July of 1999, a police officer walked up to her driveway and gave her the news she'd never expected to receive about her husband. In the blink of an eye, she became a widow with a 12-and-a-half-year-old daughter and an uncertain road ahead. She's authored a book with a stroke of a pen to help you learn how she claimed her life, and it talks about her journey in gripping detail and what she had to go through and how she had to overcome the most unthinkable obstacle in her life to be successful. So let's have a chat with Jane Blaufus. Welcome to the show, Jane.
Thanks for having me, Heather. I'm pleased to be here.
You have an amazing story of tragedy and triumph, and I was so inspired by your story that I wanted to bring it to the listeners because it's so relevant. These are the things, when I talk estate planning for everybody and hoping for the best but planning for the worst, it's not real. It's not tangible to us. We can't embrace that concept, and it's such a struggle for ourselves, and we think, oh, well, nothing's going to happen to me. I really don't need that life insurance, or I really don't need to make a will out. It's just my wife and 1 kid. Come on, how bad can it be? And then all of a sudden the unthinkable happens, and that walked up to your doorstep in 1999. Can you tell us a little bit about your life before this tragedy?
Yeah, I happily married, wife, mother, career woman. My daughter was 12 and a half, and everything was just, we were sort of always referred to as the model family, and life was good.
So everything's going good. You're the Cleavers. You're the envy of your neighborhood. You couldn't think of anything more you wanted in life. And then what happened in July?
My 39-year-old husband kissed my daughter and I goodbye that morning, and he went out the door, and later that afternoon, a police officer walked up my driveway and with tears in his eyes informed me that he had been killed in an accident that morning. So my life as I knew it, Heather, was totally turned upside down. I felt like I was standing on my head and that an 18-wheeler truck had slammed into me going full speed. What were your first thoughts? My first thoughts were that if I did not let the police officer in my house, he would not tell me what I knew he was about to tell me. He asked me twice if we could go inside, and I said no both times, and I just looked at him and asked him where my husband was. I just had this feeling. Wow.
That must be overwhelming, and there's probably no words to really describe how that handles. How someone handles that when you experience that. So what were the
there are no words.
Yeah. So what were the next days and weeks like as you started to come to terms with, no, he's not coming home. This really did happen.
Well, for the first little while, you just think that it's all a bad dream and that he will come home. He'll just walk through the door. He's a little late, but your mind plays tricks on you, and you just think he's going to come through the door. And as time went on, my parents were with me and my daughter helping us try to get through it. But I was in such a fog, Heather, that honestly, if my mother asked me a question, would you like peas or carrots with your dinner tonight, Jane? I was incapable of making that kind of a decision. I felt like I had been physically assaulted and that I was wearing a suit of lead, and every time I tried to put one foot forward, I felt like I was two steps back.
Wow. So if you weren't able to make simple decisions like peas or carrots, then what was it like for you trying to run your household, pay the bills and move forward?
Well, luckily I had some great help, but it was very, very difficult because I knew everything that went on in our house financially. I used to be in the life insurance business. I was 16 years in the business when my husband died. And just those small things like trying to stay on top of the bills and whatever, it just was like monumental. And everywhere I turned, somebody wanted money to pay off something or somebody wanted a death certificate. I remember the funeral director saying to me, how many death certificates would you like? And I said, I don't know, one. He said, well, we'll start with 15, and if you need any more, you can come back. And I had to go back because everybody wanted proof of death.
Wow, that's amazing. So you started with 15 and needed more. So what were some of the requests that you were making trying to consolidate his affairs that needed death certificates?
Well, every time you consulted a utilities company who his name was on the bill and mine wasn't, I had to get his name removed and put mine on. I needed a death certificate. Transfer of ownership of vehicles. I went to the bank to try to pay off my mortgage, and of course I had to have a death certificate, but then they also informed me that I couldn't pay off my mortgage, and that's what people buy life insurance for. And luckily I had the wherewithal to ask why, and the long and short of it was that we had just renewed our mortgage the year before for a 5-year term, and because we were only 1 year into it, I was told I had to wait 4 years. So my life insurance advisor was my lifeline after all of this happened to me. So he had me write a letter. It went to the top of the chain at this particular financial institution, and I was invited in to pay off my mortgage. But, I was blindsided by so many things after he died that it was overwhelming.
I can't even imagine. So since you were in the business, you'd always sat on the other side of the desk selling the life insurance. What was it like to be someone that actually had to file a claim for a benefit for life insurance?
It was horrible. And, you know, the thing I say to people, and I talk to a lot of people about this, I do a lot of keynote speaking, and I talk with individuals, you know, everyday people, I talk with advisors and all of that. The most crushing moment for me was when I opened up an envelope and the check in the envelope had my name on it. That just sent me right over the edge. I burst into tears. I dropped it on the counter, and my mother picked it up and said, "What's wrong? It's the right name." And I said, "The only reason I have it is because he's gone." It was like being hit by that 18-wheeler all over again.
Wow. That's just unbelievable to have to endure. But you not only endured all of that and made it through, you now help others. And when we get back after the break, I want to talk with you about some of the options that you've been able to create for others in your book that you have written about your experiences to help others make it through this process. You are listening to Jane Blaufus on Unlock Your Wealth Radio. We'll be right back with more coming up after this.
Commander Marty Logan here from the Top Gun Seminars. What I've learned over the years is that the most successful people in life have coaches to guide them along their chosen path. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Tony Stewart, Tom Hopkins, Kathy Colby all had coaches. Whether it was their father, someone else's father, or another person who helped them to shape their desires into an achievable path to success with a system of accountability where quitting was the only way to fail. Each of these people had someone who didn't see them as they first were, but as the person inside they knew they could easily become. Financial coaching can be the single addition you need to become financially independent. Call the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation now for your free consultation. 1-866-966-9420. That toll-free number again is 1-866-966-9420. Or visit us on the web at www.unlockyourwealth.com.
I'm Heather Wagenhals. Too much month left over at the end of the money? Tired of paying off debt again like a slave? Then tune in to my 1-minute update on Fort Myers Beach Radio for your morning cup of money motivation. And for more tips, visit crackingyourmoneycode.com.
Looking to take your game to the next level? Maybe you're restless and not sure what to do next in your life? If networking to elevate yourself, looking for inspiration, or being somewhere in between relaxing and making it happen, then the Women of Change Cruise, January 23rd to 28th, is for you. Join a team of elite women who will take your game to the next level or help you find your game while surrounding yourself with welcoming, accepting women who will affirm, motivate, and inspire you to live your best life starting now. Space is limited. Surf over now and be a part of women just like you who refuse to settle for less and are looking to get more out of this lifetime.
The Women of Change phenomenon. Leave your own mark on the world.
For more information about the Women of Change cruise and upcoming events, please visit our website at womenofchange.org.
Greenback is your neighborhood lender for auto title loans. We offer fast and easy cash title loans for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Keep your car with title loans from $100 to $50,000. There are no year or mileage limits at Greenback, and we offer the cheapest rates in Arizona, guaranteed. For more information, visit greenbacktitleloans.com or call 480-926-6666.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. You are listening to Unlock Your Wealth Radio. I am your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals, and I am joined today by author and investment coach Jane Blaufus. And before the break, we were talking about this personal tragedy that happened to you and how you started to work your way through it. How important was your relationship with your financial advisor?
Well, actually, that was one of the most paramount relationships that came to the forefront after my husband died, because as I mentioned to you before the break, I couldn't decide if I wanted peas or carrots, and here I am making the most monumental financial decisions of my adult lifetime. And without my advisor, literally, Heather, taking me by the hand and in some cases leading me to places and telling me, sign here and in one case, he literally wrote the check out for me because I was incapable of doing it. But I built the relationship with this man well before anything ever happened. So I trusted him implicitly. I knew he had my best interest at heart. He calls my daughter Jane Jr. He's now part of my family. So it's so important to have this kind of a relationship in place before something happens. You do not want to be trying to build a relationship with somebody that you don't know when you're in an absolute, it's like a tsunami has hit you.
Oh, agreed, because you're so overwhelmed by the emotion that you'll be lucky if you get to use your logic portion of your brain at any particular moment. So now it's been 14 years almost, since this tragedy happened. And one of the things that I have found in my coaching practice, as well as when I was an investment advisor, is sometimes when we receive money because it was from the loss of another person, we tend to frivol it away because we don't want the money, we want the person back. And so we subconsciously kind of start going on spending binges or things like that. Now, being a financial professional, did you find yourself in that same boat that maybe some of your clients have been in, or were you able to hang back and not go crazy with the money, and not because you wanted to go crazy with the money, but because people just kind of subconsciously want to get rid of it because of what it represents?
I was actually afraid to spend it. I just didn't, I thought, okay, so if I spend this and, anything happens, where am I going to find the money to keep going? Now, I was working. I had a very good, job with a very good pay and whatever. But I didn't frivolously give it away. I sort of held on to it. But I'll go back to my comment. I didn't make a move without my financial advisor. So everything that was going on in my life, to this day, I don't make a major financial decision without this fellow. So I've been, because I was in the business and because I coach people on this myself, I found that I was careful with the money and that I really did think it through, even though I was in a fog. But I didn't go off on a spending spree. There were no wild, trips anywhere or anything like that. It was just methodical, steady. My daughter was 12 and a half. I had to make sure I had enough money to get her through school and university and all of that. So cautious.
Okay. And that's interesting because you don't see that too often. But I wanted to ask that because you were in financial services that you might have had a better leg up on that. But sometimes emotion overwhelms us, and we sometimes do crazy things not with the intent to doing them that way. Now, I
have seen some people almost treat it. It's almost as if it's the lotto. And I've won, won the lotto, but it didn't really win the lotto. It was a loss. So yeah, you're right. Let's get rid of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it just represents something so tragic in your life. But you've been able to turn this around, and now you teach other folks how to claim their life. And you have written a book with the stroke of a pen. Can you tell us about this book?
Sure. The book was born out of our stories. I'm happy to say that I am very, very happily remarried to a wonderful man who lost his wife through terminal cancer. So we've got 3 people in one household, myself widowed with an accident, my daughter loses her father, and my second husband loses his wife. So I'm trying to dispel the myth, Heather, it won't happen to me. It might happen to you, but it won't happen to me. And what I'm all about is we shared our stories in hopes of helping somebody else not to have to go through what we went through. So one of the things that I did at the back of the book was I have compiled a 30-page master checklist, and this is born out of 2 years of research and discussions and interviews with financial advisors and planners and lawyers and accountants and funeral prearrangement specialists, because I wanted to empower people and to help to break down the fear. People don't like talking about this subject. There's 2 things in life that are certain, death and taxes, but people don't want to talk about either one of them, really. So I'm all about giving people the tools and the techniques and the strategies and the processes to walk through to become informed, feel more empowered to go and talk to these individuals because they've already gone through a series of questions on their own. But it's about having courageous conversations with yourself first, then with your loved ones, and then how do you engage these people? And the great thing is that I own, with the stroke of a pen, I own the registered trademark for all of North America. So I'm on a mission to help North Americans to become better equipped to claim their lives, both personally and financially.
I like your process. Talk with yourself first, then with your loved one, and then proceed forward. And holy smokes, a 30-page checklist. That's an amazing amount of data that people need to pay attention to create the right legacy and to make sure that their legacy is insured and they're able to take care of their families. So this is amazing. So if folks want personal coaching from you or they're looking to get your book, where can they find it?
They can go to my website, Jane Blaufus, BLAUFUS.com, and there's ways in there to find out more about the work I'm doing and also to connect with and contact us.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being a part of our show today. And for those of you driving around without a pencil, never fear. UnlockYourWealthRadio.com is here, where you can find linky links to Jane's resources on her show page. Stay tuned for more. We've got Unlock Your Wealth Radio and the Keys to Riches coming up right after this.
Commander Marty Logan here from the Top Gun Seminars. What I've learned over the years is that the most successful people in life have coaches to guide them along their chosen path. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Tony Stewart, Tom Hopkins, Kathy Colby all had coaches. Whether it was their father, someone else's father, or another person who helped them to shape their desires into an achievable path to success with a system of accountability where quitting was the only way to fail. Each of these people had someone who didn't see them as they first were, but as the person inside they knew they could easily become. Financial coaching can be the single addition you need to become financially independent. Call the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation now for your free consultation. 1-866-966-9420. That toll-free number again is 1-866-966-9420. Or visit us on the web at www.unlockyourwealth.com.
I'm Heather Wagenhals. Too much month left over at the end of the money? Tired of paying off debt again like a slave? Then tune in to my 1-minute update on Fort Myers Beach Radio for your morning cup of money motivation. And for more tips, visit crackingyourmoneycode.com.
Looking to take your game to the next level? Maybe you're restless and not sure what to do next in your life? If networking to elevate yourself, looking for inspiration, or being somewhere in between relaxing and making it happen, then the Women of Change Cruise, January 23rd to 28th, is for you. Join a team of elite women who will take your game to the next level or help you find your game while surrounding yourself with welcoming, accepting women who will affirm, motivate, and inspire you to live your best life starting now. Space is limited. Surf over now and be a part of women just like you who refuse to settle for less and are looking to get more out of this lifetime.
The Women of Change phenomenon. Leave your own mark on the world.
For more information about the Women of Change cruise and upcoming events, please visit our website at womenofchange.org.
Greenback is your neighborhood lender for auto title loans. We offer fast and easy cash title loans for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Keep your car with title loans from $100 to $50,000. There are no year or mileage limits at Greenback, and we offer the cheapest rates in Arizona, guaranteed. For more information, visit greenbacktitleloans.com or call 480-926-6666.
Welcome back to the broadcast, everyone. You are listening to Unlock Your Wealth Radio, and I am your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals. And I just like saying that, purveyor of prosperity. That sounds like so cool. Anyway, that's silliness. It's time for our keys to riches. Would you like to learn the keys? Perhaps. Well, For those of you joining us for the first time, thanks so much for stopping by. We're so glad you joined us. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. The Keys to Riches is a baker's dozen of financial concepts that not only teach you how to think like the rich and be in control of your own money, it also gives you specific techniques to create or fix your credit, eliminate debt, save and invest, building wealth while transforming your current financial habits into healthy money management skills. And we do that one key at a time, 1 week at a time from the Keys to Riches Financial Wellness Series. And this week's key is our fourth key. Knowledge is power. Not knowing is powerful. And this is an important key because ignorance may be bliss for some, but for others, knowing what we should know could help us when we haven't a clue or we think we know everything we need to know about money, and then we get blindsided. And that's never a good thing. And Jane's story kind of illustrates the whole point of not being blindsided. And so I have created in our simple money management 3 questions and 5 areas of concern. And we're learning about our 3 questions as we go through our assessment phase, and we'll finish those up in our Break the Budget key. But our financial 5, our 5 areas of concern, are this week's key because knowledge is power. Yeah, it's great to know things, but not knowing is powerful. And what we don't know but should know is what we need to be concerned with. And that's what this is. So we're going to take our financial inventory mentally. What do we know about money? And we're going to learn what should we know about money, but we don't. And the reason why this is so important is once we know what we should know, we can choose to do a couple of things. We can empower ourselves and learn everything about it and now be proficient in that area of money management, which we currently have skills lacking. Or we can learn enough about it that we can effectively delegate to another professional. Because let's face it, maybe you don't want to get your hands dirty reading all of the stock prices in the newspapers every day. So it would make sense that you would want to learn how to invest and what goes on and the expectations you need for an investment professional so you can properly interview and select one to get where you want to go financially without having to do the work. But you got to know something, because if you think about it, and they did a great special on ESPN. It was a program on that 30/30 show, and it was called Broke. And they had just about every single professional athlete known to man, and super famous ones that you wouldn't expect to be interviewed on this show, talking about how they were broke or beyond broke before they even quit playing, let alone now. And because of their lack of money management savvy and the emotions that were involved by friends and family members that was put on these individuals, that they were guilted out of the money that they rightfully deserved. They're the ones that earned it. They took the head hits. They had the broken appendages. They're the ones that were nursing the bruises. And now they don't have anything to show for it. And it's because they didn't know about their financial 5. They trusted and delegated to a professional that they couldn't even measure whether or not they were performing or not performing. And before you know it, they had nothing. Nada, zip, zilch. And I look at some rock musicians too that are broke and bankrupt, and you just think about the level of trust that was given, and it was blindly given. And so, yes, you have to have a level of trust, but you don't want to give that trust blindly. So let's go through these financial 5 that you need to know about, and we're going to measure what you should know in each one of these. And then you can, after we take this financial inventory, determine whether or not you want to learn more or go find a financial professional to manage that area of your life. The first and foremost of our financial 5 is income and expenses, okay? Money going in, money going out. All right, you're the one that generates the income, or your spouse, significant other, and whomever else is in your household. You bring the money in, and likely you are responsible for it going out. We need to learn how to spend less than we make. That's a tough thing, because we have credit cards and all these incredible ways we can learn to live beyond our means. But the first trait of a millionaire is they spend less than they make. So if you do not know how to balance a checkbook, if you are not familiar with the withholdings in your paycheck and why all of that money is being withheld, and if you get a big sizable refund at the end of the year, perhaps you're having too much withheld up front. And maybe you can do a few different things between your paycheck and your expenses to manage your money more effectively. So if you don't understand about simple banking, like checking and savings accounts and certificates of deposit and initial investment tools, you need to seek out somebody that can help you with all of that. If you don't know how to balance your checkbook, and you don't know how to determine if your withholdings or allowances are done properly, then you can consult an attorney or like a tax attorney or a CPA who can effectively explain what's going on, and based on where your income bracket is and tax position, maybe help you get more of your paycheck back each month. Perhaps you're overspending with Uncle Sam, and every time that you give them $1 that they give you back, it's like you gave them an interest-free loan for 15 months. And I don't know about you, but Uncle Sam is not my favorite relative, and that's the last person I want to lend money to interest-free. But that's a subject for a whole nother show. So income and expenses are our first of our financial five. And the next is protections. That's our second in our financial five. And this is about insuring for success. Most of us hate the thought of insurance, but insurance gives us millionaire status without having to be a millionaire. It allows us to rent the title, if you will. Because if you have car insurance and you get into a car accident, then your insurance can open up and pay for whatever damage was done, any damage done to others. If medical care is required, they stroke the check. You don't stroke that check. And if you're not a millionaire and you get sued for hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe somebody dies in the accident or is permanently injured, now you're talking big, big bucks. And if you're not a millionaire, that's a problem. Because if you are, it could make you become an unmillionaire really quick, a millionaire, as one of our words of the day, not having $1 million. So when we have insurance, it insures for our success. And the same goes for our businesses. You know, if you have a business that you work out of home and somebody trips and falls on your property, do you have business coverage? Your insurance company can take and deny your claim if you haven't properly adjusted your homeowner's insurance to account for that fact. And it's a simple rider. It's a simple little policy addition. But that few extra bucks a year can be all the difference in keeping you at millionaire status or making you a millionaire. The same goes if you owe if you owe money on assets, or if you are financially responsible for other people's well-being. So that's a spouse, significant other, children, any other type of dependents like siblings, parents, that sort of thing. If you are financially responsible for others, life insurance is super important. It's a must. It's a must. And you need to calculate it from the perspective that you need 10 times your annual salary so they can live off the interest and not the principal. Plus the dollar amount of whatever you owe. So if you have mortgages, credit cards, car payments, you want to make sure that that's covered, because you don't want to take that out of their principal that's going to generate them income for years to come in your absence. So these are things that you need to be considering, okay? Now, there's long-term disability insurance. So let's say that your family genetically dies slow, long, painful deaths. And there's a lot of suffering and a lot of medical care required for that, like having to be dialyzed if you have diabetes and are experiencing kidney problems. There's all sorts of long-term issues that need to be addressed. And if you are a millionaire, you don't want to become a millionaire before your life is extinguished from this excruciating, painful death. So having long-term insurance can be a consideration for you. There is a litany of other types of insurance. If you have a lot of assets, if you have achieved that millionaire status and would like to stay at millionaire status, it would be important for you to consider an umbrella policy. If you have a business partner that in their absence, your business will not function, you need key man insurance. There's all sorts of types of insurance, and it is there to help ensure your success and millionaire status. Just keep that in mind. And it allows us to rent that status before we become millionaires and ensure that we get there. So that's an important one, our protections. And it's not an area we should skimp with. The next is asset accumulation, and this is our ability to start saving. Okay, so this is us putting that $1 a day away to become a millionaire in 20 years. This is us putting that $5 a day away for our kids' college fund. All right, this is our initial savings. This is our emergency fund, our 6 to 9 months worth of living expenses in the event that we are financially unable to provide for ourselves. Like we talked about in last week's show, what if we get terminated? Ooh, now we have to be able to survive. So that's what our asset accumulation phase of our financial 5 is. Then we go from accumulating to multiplying, asset multiplication. This is where we go beyond our emergency fund, our tiered savings plan, where we have that 6 to 9 months worth of income. And now we start investing our money for the future. So not only are we working, generating income for the first of our financial 5, but now we have our assets working side by side with us. So every dollar is another minion in your army to conquer millionairedom. Then, after you have multiplied and made all of this money, you want to protect and ensure your legacy for your lifetime and for years to come. So we have asset protection or asset preservation. Forgive me. I'm looking at protections and I said that. Asset preservation. So this is two things. One, it's reducing our tax liabilities. Okay, through effective estate planning, using trusts, using corporations to shelter that income, because by golly, I don't believe that we should be penalized for the wealth we've generated, okay? We can employ people the more money we have, so we need to let folks grab their self-worth and go earn it. So we want to shelter our income as best we can. And so that comes with estate planning and tax attorneys. Also, if you have family or friends or charitable institutions that you want to be able to create your legacy with, this is how you do it. Because if you want to make sure that your kids get your stuff when you go, but don't run out to sell it, or that your kids don't count on an inheritance and so they have to earn their way into your will and meet certain criteria, or you hold it back long enough that they've grown up and they're past that frivolous age of their 20s and they're getting serious about their lives, and you don't want to ruin them with this big bonus, then you can do that when you carefully plan your estate with wills and trusts and all of that good stuff. Okay. And it's something we don't want to think about. Nobody wants to think about it. Jane talks about that in today's show, but we've got to think about it. And when we can successfully address these areas that we don't know anything about, then, we can put it off our plate and focus on the things that we do want to have in life. Because if you think about it, okay, that even though we don't consciously pay attention to us and we try to block it out, there is an incredible term in neuro-linguistic programming, and we call it a presupposition. What we resist persists. And even though we're not on the surface thinking about it, okay, our brain is like an iceberg, and our conscious part of the brain is the part you see above the water. And then the subconscious is this vast, uncharted territory underneath the water. And just because up top ain't thinking about it doesn't mean down below isn't super concerned. And it can affect you physiologically if you're worrying and stressing about stuff. And knowledge is power because it gives you the tools you need to succeed. And now that you have those tools, I'm going to give you one of my favorite quotes I came up with when I was speaking one day. And someone was asking me about smarts and degrees and all of that stuff. And I said, knowledge is superfluous without application. So knowing what to do just isn't enough, because think about it. Each and every one of us know to spend less and save more, but do we? Really, be honest with yourself, because it's probably just you and me sitting here having this conversation. Nobody else is listening. And if you're honest with yourself, you're probably guilty of spending more and saving less. So it's not about knowing. Okay, it's about application. So these are the 5 areas of concern that you must know: income and expenses, protections, asset accumulation, asset multiplication, and asset preservation. That's your financial 5. Figure out what you know, figure out what you don't, and then go get the resources you need to effectively manage your money today. That's it for this week's key. For your key statement, key affirmation, and key action item, please visit unlockyourwealthradio.com and click on the This Week's Key tab. And for more in-depth interviews with money experts, strategies, and members-only tools to fix your credit, get out of debt, and have more money and happiness, do what other savvy listeners have and visit unlockyourwealthradio.com, where you go to get your money mind right so your wealth and happiness will follow. Become an Insiders Club member today and start receiving the benefits of millionaire wisdom now. For Unlock Your Wealth Radio, I'm Heather Wagenhals. Now, go out and unlock your wealth today.
UnlockYourWealthRadio.com is produced by Heather Wagenhals and the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation. UnlockYourWealthRadio.com and its affiliates are copyrighted 2013 with all rights reserved. For more information on the Keys to Riches Financial Wellness Series, please visit our website at www.unlockyourwealth.com.